Thai at the very, very highest level. Amy Pirnie makes her way to the ring. You know what? The first time Amy Pirnie fought on... Beautiful sweep. Lisa, her mum, could fight and proven. Dakota bouncing out of range. Again takes her down.
Amy Pirnie has already shocked the fight world by defeating Dakota Ditcheva once before, and now she's back to finish the story. After Dakota's reign of destruction, including the brutal knockout of her opponent on April 7, 2017, nobody believed anyone could truly threaten the dangerous queen. But with Amy's explosive 49-second knockout debut on One Championship and her fearless warning, "I'll fight anyone," the pressure is now on Dakota like never before.
Struggle for range here for Pirnie.
Big knee from Pirnie, another big knee, good sweep from Pirnie. Big scoring knees going in from Pirnie. Bustles her down again. Strong at the moment.
The biggest question remains, can Amy Pirnie become the first woman to officially hand Dakota Ditcheva a professional loss and turn that perfect 15-0 record into 15-1? Let's start with the woman who dares to say yes to that question, Amy Pirnie, born May 6, 1993 in Glasgow, Scotland. This isn't some up-and-comer riding hype. This is a decorated, seasoned Muay Thai world champion who has been punishing opponents since she was barely old enough to drive.
No, I'll be back hopefully very soon, as quick as One Championship. When you put me back on, I'll be here.
At just 15 years old, Amy took home junior gold at the IFMA World Championships. The very next year, she came back and won both the junior and adult gold at the same event simultaneously. She was beating grown women as a teenager. Think about what that means. While most kids were worrying about homework, Amy Pirnie was dismantling professional adult fighters on the world stage.
Big scores, knees. Pirnie, that was a nice knee back from Ditcheva. And isn't he, with Pirnie?
Yeah, you can see it in there, especially. I think.
Since turning professional in 2008, Amy has collected titles across multiple organizations: the ISA British Championship, the WBC Muay Thai International Flyweight Championship, the Infusion 52 kg Championship, the Lion Fight Super Flyweight Championship, and the ISA Strawweight World Championship. She's been voted UK Female Fighter of the Year 3 times: 2015, 2016, and 2019. And then came One Championship. On August 3, 2024, Amy made her debut at One Fight Night 24 in Bangkok. 49 seconds. That's all she needed. One perfectly timed shot, one devastating knockout, and the fight world woke up to a name it won't be forgetting anytime soon. One Championship itself ranked that debut finish as the number 4 knockout of the entire year for 2024. Her debut. Let that sink in. On screen, replay Amy's 49-second KO in slow motion here. Now, let's talk about the woman standing across from her. Dakota Ditcheva, the dangerous queen, fighting out of Manchester, England. 15 fights, 15 wins, 0 losses. Dakota's record is not just clean, it's ruthless.
Come on in.
Down the fence. Oh,
We're ready.
so long and rangy.
Put away.
Oh,
Yeah, and a power.
12 of those 15 victories have come by knockout, with most landing in the very first round. She became the youngest PFL champion in history and the first British female EMMA world champion when she claimed the $1 million tournament title. Her power, her pressure, her explosive forward aggression, it has overwhelmed everyone they've put in front of her. What makes Dakota truly scary is how she wins. She doesn't just outpoint people. She finishes them. Even Taylor Santos, a fighter who had never been finished before, couldn't survive Dakota's relentless body attacks and knockout power. Dakota doesn't wait for opportunities, she creates them. Standing 5'8", checking in at 126 pounds, she fights with the aggression of someone who genuinely believes she is unbeatable.
The planet right now, fantastic strikers, veterans, future legends of the game here.
For sure.
Santos
is in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
And right now, she might be. With a 15-0 record and the kind of knockout highlight reel that would terrify even the most confident challenger, Dakota Ditcheva is the standard. She is the measuring stick in this division. On screen, Dakota's highlight reel, body shots, co-finishes, Santos finish. So how do these two women actually compare when you break it down technically? This is where it gets really interesting, and where Amy's case becomes genuinely compelling. Amy Pirnie, the technical assassin. Amy fights out of an orthodox stance built on a traditional Muay Thai foundation. Her clinch work is elite level. She has phenomenal control that lets her dictate the pace and range of every fight. Her body attacks using kicks and knees make opponents wilt under sustained pressure. And her IQ? Off the charts. In her one debut, her team had spotted that her opponent steps in and drops her hand slightly. Amy exploited that exact weakness for the finish. She doesn't just beat opponents on talent, she studies them. She prepares meticulously and executes game plans to perfection. Against the absolute best Muay Thai strikers in the world, across multiple promotions and rule sets, Amy has consistently performed at the highest level. This is not a Muay Thai fighter who has been protecting her record against soft competition. She has battled and defeated world champions in pure striking. Dakota Ditcheva, the explosive pressure machine. Dakota transitioned from Muay Thai into MMA, and found an environment where her explosive hand speed and body punching became even more dangerous. She is an aggressive forward pressure fighter with 12 knockouts on her record. She specializes in cutting off the cage, swarming opponents, and landing in combinations to the body and head that wear down even durable opposition. But here is the key distinction every serious fan needs to understand. Dakota's striking opponents in MMA have largely been mixed martial artists. Fighters who are well-rounded but not dedicated, elite-level striking specialists. Amy has not been fighting Ma practitioners. She has been fighting pure Muay Thai world champions. The level of technical striking that Amy has faced and defeated on a consistent basis is simply in a different category to what Dakota has encountered in her Ma career so far. Here is the fact that changes everything in this conversation. Amy Pirnie already has a win over Dakota Ditcheva. Back in 2017, when Dakota was building her early reputation, Amy was the one who put a stop to it, handing Dakota a loss that still doesn't appear on her official MMA record, because it came in the Muay Thai world. But the result stands. Amy has done it before. Since that encounter, Amy has done nothing but improve. A 19-fight winning streak through world-class Muay Thai competition, multiple world titles added to her collection, a devastating one championship debut that reminded the entire fight world what she is capable of. She is better now than she was in 2017, arguably significantly so. Meanwhile, the question marks around Dakota's striking, specifically whether her technique holds up against a pure striker of Amy's caliber, remain unanswered in a MMA context. Dakota's wrestling, ground game, and cage control are genuine factors that Amy has not had to deal with in striking competition. This is a real variable. Ma is not Muay Thai, and anyone dismissing Dakota's grappling dimensions is making a mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC strawweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding an undefeated professional record. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 115 pounds. Fighting out of Rancho Cucamonga, California, presenting the Ultimate Fighter Season 23 winner, Tatiana Suarez.
I believe that I'm the best in the world.
She's such a dominant figure. Suarez is on another level. I haven't seen this kind of dominance.
Tatiana Cookie Monster Suarez, the elite wrestling machine with an MMA record of 12-1 and a UFC record of 13-1-0, is being called the biggest threat to our beloved Dakota Ditcheva. A suffocating grappler, submission queen, and relentless pressure fighter, Suarez has built her reputation by dominating opponents with world-class wrestling and brutal ground control.
Is it under the chin? It's hard to see.
Under the chin, but her hands are not locked, so she's trying to lock.
Tatiana Suarez!
She doesn't just hunt submissions, she carries real knockout danger too. And when grappling has been viewed as Dakota Ditcheva's biggest weakness, that makes this matchup one of the most dangerous tests of Dakota's career.
In mixed martial arts for Suarez. Just ground domination here so far from Suarez. Nice hammer fist by Suarez, the thyroid cancer survivor.
The question is simple. Can Dakota survive the storm of the Cookie Monster, or will Tatiana's grappling machine style prove too much for the rising star?
Good front headlock. Wow. Great fundamentals. She goes for the guillotine. She sits.
Rosa, she could get out though. She's doing the right thing.
No, that's locked in.
That is locked in, but
And sitting up makes it even tougher.
Tatiana Suarez, born December 19, 1990, in Covina, California, Tatiana Suarez did not stumble into wrestling. She was put on a mat before she was 4 years old. 4 years old. She went on to become a multi-time world championship medalist and a 2-time National High School Wrestler of the Year, the very first person in history to win that title twice. She was on her way to the 2012 Olympics when life tried to break her. A serious neck injury derailed her Olympic dreams. Then, doctors found something worse: thyroid cancer. She had her thyroid removed, lymph nodes removed, and went through radiation therapy. Most people would have walked away from combat sports forever. Tatiana Suarez walked back into an MMA cage and started finishing people. She won the Ultimate Fighter Season 23. She went 7-0 inside the UFC before her first career loss. A loss that came with a freak knee injury mid-fight against 2-time champion Zhang Weili. And even in that fight, she was winning round 1 before the blood started pouring and everything changed mentally. That was not a loss of skill. That was a loss of circumstance.
One of the great what-ifs in MMA history. We all thought, like, she's going to be a champion.
The former wrestling prodigy returns after a nearly 4-year layoff.
This woman has faced cancer. She has faced career-ending injuries. She has faced the deepest darkness, and every single time she came back sharper, hungrier, and more dangerous. Now let's talk about what makes Tatiana Suarez the most terrifying grappler in women's MMA. People call her the female Khabib. They call her a wrestling machine. They call her the Cookie Monster. But what does that actually mean inside the cage?
She's got that squeeze, man. That's the difference. Suarez really showing that pedigree of grappling. And you hear the Suarez corner, Millennia MMA, Rami Aram, Batiste Mansouri. Another unheralded camp. Nice. A little bit of ground.
It means she suffocates you. It means once she decides to take you down, you are going down. It means once she puts you on that mat, you are not getting back up. And if you somehow survive, she is right back in your face doing it all over again. Her ground control time sits at 57.7%, the highest in UFC women's strawweight history. Let that sink in. Over half of every single fight she has been in, she has had her opponent pinned to the canvas, completely at her mercy. Her takedown accuracy is relentless. Opponents see the shot coming. They train for it. They game plan for it. And they still cannot stop it.
Hi, my name is Tatiana Suarez, and I'm a UFC strawweight. I was very surprised by my mental strength when I had to go through physical therapy for my knee, my thyroid cancer. I sat there, I cried for 3 days, and then I was like, well, Tatiana, the comeback starts right now. When I first got into the UFC and I had won the Ultimate Fighter show, I said, I've overcome a lot, and I've overcome cancer, and I'm not gonna stop till I get to the top. Because I've faced so many injuries, I know that it's just not certain, and to just enjoy every single day. And I'm excited to learn and become a better version of myself,
But here is what separates Tatiana from just being a takedown artist. She finishes from the ground. 5 submissions in her career. She does not just hold you down and grind out a decision. She hunts. She looks for the choke, the arm, the neck. She is a submission queen hiding inside a wrestling machine.
And up Suarez, but there's the tap. The last-ditch effort does not come through for Grasso.
Grasso did everything she could to keep Tatiana Suarez from getting dominant position.
And here is the part people are sleeping on, she can knock you out too. Her striking accuracy sits at 60.4%, also the highest in her division's history. She has knockout wins on her record. She is not just a grappler who can't strike. She is a complete fighter who uses her striking to set up her wrestling, and her wrestling to set up her submissions. She attacks on all 3 levels, and every single one of them is dangerous. Her record speaks for itself. 12 wins, 1 loss overall in MMA. 13 wins, 1 loss in the UFC. A 45% finishing rate. She does not just win, she ends fights.
He's just trying to take him out one at a time. And opponents know the Suarez takedown is coming, but at least in the short sample size we have in the UFC, no one's been able to stop the shot.
Now let's talk about our beloved Dakota Ditcheva. And I mean beloved, because watching this woman fight is one of the greatest experiences in combat sports right now. Born July 25, 1998, in Sale, Manchester, England, her mother is a multi-time world kickboxing champion. Dakota grew up breathing martial arts. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, she is the complete package, and she knows it. Her record? 15 wins, 0 losses. 12 of those wins by knockout or TKO. That is an 80% knockout rate. Her average fight lasts just 1.6 rounds. Most of her opponents never even see round 2. She is the reigning PFL Women's Flyweight World Champion, the #1 ranked women's flyweight in the PFL as of 2026, the first British female MMA World Champion, and the 2024 Female Fighter of the Year from basically every major outlet. Her Muay Thai striking is on a world-class level. Knees, kicks, elbows, body shots. She turns the cage into her personal highlight reel. She knocked out Tyler Santos, someone nobody had ever finished before, in the 2nd round to win the PFL championship and the $1 million prize. She is electric, she is violent, and she is the most exciting female fighter on the planet right now. But, and this is a big but, she has a weakness, and Tatiana Suarez is that weakness personified. Let's go category by category. No bias. Just facts. Wrestling and grappling, Tatiana Suarez. It is not even close. Dakota has shown she can grapple, but she only has 1 submission win in 15 professional fights. On the ground, against Tatiana, she would be in a completely different world. Tatiana's wrestling is world championship level. Her ground control is historic. If this fight hits the mat, Dakota is in serious trouble. Striking, Dakota Ditcheva. 12 knockouts from 15 fights says everything. Her Muay Thai combinations are fast, precise, and brutal. Tatiana's striking is solid, and her accuracy is elite, but she is a wrestler first and a striker second. Dakota's hands, knees, and kicks are weapons that can end any fight in a single second. Finishing ability, this one is a draw. Tatiana has 5 submissions and 2 knockouts. Dakota has 12 knockouts and 1 submission. Different tools, same result. Both of these women end fights.
And her opponent fighting out of the red corner. She's a Muay Thai specialist and stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. She weighed in officially at 126 pounds and holds a professional record of 5 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Manchester, England,